Okay. Today we're going to talk about self-love, self-acceptance, because there is a gap in personal development where you start from a place of discontent, because for any catalyst for change, you need to be unhappy. You need something, you want to change something because whatever the situation is right now, it's not making you happy. You want to change something because there is a need for something, that there is a lack of something, or you're just unhappy. You're unhappy with who you are, or you're unhappy with the situation that you're in life. Maybe you're a little bit confused about your life purpose. Whatever it is, there is a lack, there is a need, there is a discontent in the situation. That is the catalyst for change, for transformation, your motivation to do anything at all. Now then you look at how you're going to become better, to be a better person, how to improve your life, and you're going to start this chase of trying to attain that. But there's a trap here. There's a trap of, it's very similar to, chasing something in the future. Like, I'll be happy when I have this car. I'll be happy when I make this much money. I'll be happy when I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or I'll be happy when I buy a house. I'll be happy when, when I'm happier, It's like, it's endless. And you could get stuck in this hamster wheel of self-improvement where you want to be happy, so you're going after this thing, but you're just it's just constant chase, right? And it's much like going after like material possessions. You might be happy for a second, but you just might feel shitty again, like the next day. That feeling inside is the same. So it's a trap. The foundation, the gap that exists between, that discontent and being happy, that leap is, I think, self-acceptance, self-love, to accept yourself for who you are and whatever situation that you are in right now. It's true, life isn't fair. Some are ahead, some are behind. Life isn't fucking fair. You start from where you start. Or maybe you've been held back because you had trauma in your life. You had past trauma that's holding you back all this time. Or you have insecurities and limiting beliefs that's held you back as well. You might have had a tragic event. You might be coming from a less privileged place. Whatever the situation, you start where you start. But you can't compare yourself to other people. It's a massive, massive waste of time. It is so dumb. And there's no shame wherever you start and feeling like, oh, you're not as successful, or you're not as smart, or whatever it is that you feel like you're not enough of something, or you don't have enough of something. Wherever you start, there is no shame. To be early in the process doesn't mean that you're less of a person. To be early in the process doesn't mean that you're a bad person. To be early in the process doesn't mean you should be ashamed of yourself. It doesn't matter. The process doesn't care about how old you are. Doesn't care. The process doesn't care how old you are. Doesn't care about your age. It's a lifelong thing. And we all start from different places. Life isn't fucking fair. Get that through your head. There's no fucking justice, okay? Universe doesn't give a fuck. That is the most objective truth, all right? We all have our own truth, but then there is like a fucking objective truth, all right? Yes, the reality is how we perceive it. It is what you think it is. But it is what it is. Before what you think it is what it is. Before we perceive it to be what it is, what we think it is what it is. Do you understand? It's deep. So there's nothing bad about being early in the process, okay? Nothing bad about it, no shame. Doesn't care about your age. Your body ages, but your spirit does not age. That kid in you is still there. That same freaking thing, the person that you may have left behind years ago, and you sort of got lost in your life, and you one day woke up and said, oh, I want to change my life. Well, that person is still in you. That freaking child is still in you. And maybe to become that best version of yourself means you go find that kid and you tell him, all right, let's do this, okay? Let's teach ourselves how to fucking be better. Because maybe we shied away from all the freaking challenges and opportunities because maybe it was scary, maybe you had fears, maybe you had limiting beliefs, maybe you didn't have the right environment or the right thoughts or teachings to get you through that. Maybe you didn't have a mentor. Whatever it is, the spirit is still there. It's not older. Your age, because you're gonna die one day, but your spirit is the same. And there's nothing wrong with where you are in that process. You are where you are. You have to accept it and love that. You have to love it. You have to love yourself. That's the foundation, right? You can get all the things and you'll still be unhappy if you don't have this. You can be happy right now. 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 You can be happy right now, okay? Accept it. Accept yourself. Love yourself. Accept it. You are everything you need to be. You are everything you need. There's nothing about you right now that is different from when you become this like special version of yourself. You don't gain anything. You're still the same body. You still have the same brain. It's the same thing. What is the difference then? A decision, okay? You're not lacking anything. You have everything you need to make that thing happen. There's nothing missing in you right now. There's no difference between you right now and that version of yourself. There's no difference. But there's a decision you have to make. That's pretty much the only difference, really. That you made a decision to be that thing. And then you're going to have to work for it. It's just perseverance. It's not so much how much, what kind of pleasure you want, really, to get there. Like, what do you want in life is really more, like, the question is, like, what kind of pain can you tolerate, really, to get there? That's more of an accurate, it's like, how much pain, it just takes pain to get to that place. That it's just unavoidable. And maybe you're not there right now because you just shied away from that pain. You didn't want to go through the trouble. Or maybe you're vulnerable emotionally, but it's because of whatever trauma you might have had. So there's going to be some work there to be done. You have to untangle these things and then practice at being that fucking version of yourself. It's just practice. Some people have been doing it longer than you. Maybe because you've just been putting it away for fucking forever. All right? But there's no shame. You can start right now. You can start right now. And just love the process. And accept yourself. Accept that you are where you are. And there's nothing wrong with you. No shame in it. You're not a bad person. You are a good person. You are a good person that is on your way. That is trying to be better. That is going to be a better person. Does that make you a bad person? No. Accept yourself, man. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. All right? Okay, so I'm going to tell you a tool. Here's a tool I use to sort of cultivate that, or at least be self-aware of this, right? To just constantly just have this clarity is self-talk. What am I doing right now? I'm essentially talking to myself, right? This is a self-talk. Now, when I was younger, and when I was like in a bad place, when I was like depressed and life was shit, it was just horrible, I was afraid of even doing, I thought like, because I think everybody does self-talk. Everybody does self-talk. They talk to themselves. We have many versions of ourselves all the time. You have different roles in life. We act differently with other different people, okay? We have different situations. It's just how it is, the social dynamics. It is just what it is. Now, if you're so far away from your authentic self, if you're so disconnected from yourself and you're depressed and you're unhappy, you're gonna have that talk, okay? I mean, you don't have to be even depressed. You're gonna have that talk anyway. Whenever you're just trying to clarify yourself, to be congruent, to listen into that inner voice, you have that dialogue with yourself. Now, I used to be scared of even doing that when I was younger because there's this like stigma, it's stigmatized as mental health. Like your mental health, it's weird. It's just like scary for people to admit. It's like a weakness, right? And when I was younger, you know, back like we can go back like in my teenage years, like in early 2000s or something, you know, right? Like, or even like the end of the 90s, like nobody talked about this stuff, let alone like self-talk, like talking to yourself. That's like a crazy thing to do. You're a crazy person, you know? And I legit was scared that I have like multiple personality disorder or whatever. I don't even know what that means. I just heard that word once and was like, oh my God, that's like a scary thing. I don't want that. And like, I didn't want to do it, but people do it. And right now, all I do is freaking self-talk. We do it all the time. We do it all day. It's just what we do. We have a dialogue within ourselves. You can just basically assume that there is at least two versions of you, right? There's like you consciously engaging the world, and there's a subconscious. There's at least two, right? You know, that you're always trying to kind of have this dialogue with yourself to be congruent with who you are. Like, is this right? Is this who I am? How does this make sense in my story, in my narrative? This self-talk. Now, I have this self-talk now, and I do it openly. I do it very much like I embrace it. And there are two ways that I do it. One is journaling, and also another way that I think is really good that works for me is waking up super fucking early. Like I wake up at 4 every morning, okay? And I would write for at least an hour, just free write. But I really try to get in touch with like that inner voice. I really try to focus when it's all quiet, everybody's asleep still, and you just have that moment with yourself. And it takes a little bit of time, right, to kind of get into it. You know, just start writing. Don't think about it. Just start writing about whatever comes to your head, and then you're gonna start writing. Like I can't stop. I can't stop writing. I just keep writing. And often, I don't even know where it comes from, but you just you start writing about like the most inner like truth about yourself. It's just how it is for me, and it's amazing. It gives me so much direction and clarity. This gives me this just understanding where I am in the process, right? And knowing that it's okay. It's fine. You're on your way. You know, accept it, love it. Just self-talk. Talk to yourself. And be on your team. Don't antagonize yourself. Be on your own team. Be the best teammate for yourself, right? Be gentle. Like listen to yourself. Be like, hey, like how's it going? How are you doing? What's going on? You know, like what can we do better? What didn't work? Just have that. Just be on the same team. Don't have an antagonizing discussion. You're on your own team, man. Help yourself. You know, that's the self-talk that I would recommend. And another way I do it is, writing. And then there's another way is vlogging. You don't have to publish your vlogs. You can just talk to your phone. Set up a time where you just talk to your freaking phone and just express yourself, right? Let yourself be heard, you know? You have to do it. It helps. That's what I do. So these two things you can do to, kind of cultivate that self-love, self-acceptance, and the mindset. It's really a mindset, right? Of understanding that life is a freaking process. We're gonna all die. So you have to just engage life and love the process and love right now. And you are enough, and you are enough. You have everything you need to be whatever you want. And we just gotta go through the process. No matter where you are, you're okay. You're not a bad person. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. You're gonna get there. You're going through the process. That makes you a fucking awesome person. And process doesn't care about your age. You know, no matter where you are, no matter how old you are, the Spirit is the same within you. So there you go. That's the gap in self-improvement. Don't get stuck in the hamster wheel. Don't get stuck in it. Love yourself. Accept yourself. That's it.